Do you still audition and shit or no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I know that. Yeah.
I think it's like because there's so much content and stuff that's being made all the time that everybody wants to get in on now. So the auditioning is back at I think everybody's in the room. I see a lot of people that I'm like, you audition? Oh shit.
Yeah.
You seem like you'd be great at auditions.
I'm pretty good at being in front of that small group of people and not being uncomfortable when it's producers and all that stuff. But I'm not as good when I don't know. I'm just not self tapes and stuff. Yeah. I don't feel the pressure, so I don't get a lot of response.
He's the opposite.
Really?
Well, no,
oh, man.
no. Now we're on to something. Because the last 3 self-tapes
now we're on to something? I thought we were on to something this
30 minutes. But now we're on to something even different.
40 minutes? We haven't been on to anything?
We've been on nothing.
Okay,
no,
that's fine. Let's just start it here. Cut the previous.
No. We're on to something again. We're on to something again, guys. Jesus, this guy. But you're right. It's like the last 3 or 4 tapes I've sent. Not really. I didn't get them or no response really.
Yeah.
And I think that, the ones that I do go in it's more of a...
Well, this is what's different about you. If people... He has an aura about him that I feel like in person you do give off a very, very different aura than when you're on a tape. Because you are a special breed.
What's an aura mean?
I mean, just your energy. You're very eccentric. You're very... weird and you do little things that make people laugh like when you're not doing your scene.
Right.
And people remember that. They remember how you made them feel.
Danny DeVito got Taxi because he had auditioned for so many things in New York City where he's told his agents and managers, send me in. If it says 6 foot tall, send me in. And he knew he wasn't going to get the role.
Yeah.
They remembered him. And then finally they,
Yeah.
The one that mattered came.
The one that mattered, Taxi, the one that mattered came. It's so interesting, and it's like when you go in there, sometimes they're not even. Sometimes they don't even want the guy that knows the scene inside and out, and it's like Sometimes they want somebody that's just different or. Well,
Eric Stonestreet said it best. He's like, if you nail your audition, then they know that's your ceiling. If you give them something where they can use their imagination and say, you know what, he nailed this part. I wonder how much better he could be. There's more of an intrigue rather than that was the best. That's the best they can do.
He's a thespian. He's
Yeah.
He said something to me once. I was in an audition, right, and he was shooting. He was on Modern Family, and they were shooting in the area where the door of the audition was. And he saw me walk in, right, and he saw me I looked at him. He knows how nervous I get. I get really nervous. And I sat in this audition, right? I signed up, my name, little things like, what time did you come in? And why is that there?
What time did you get there, and what time is your audition? I always fuck up and put the time of my audition in the get there, and then I'm like, they're gonna think I walked in right. I'm fucked. I already lost this part.
Yeah. But why does it even need that? Just check.
I don't know.
What is it?
Makes no sense.
So you sign. There's 3-4 columns, right? That you have to
put your agency.
All that's bullshit. Sometimes I just go ditto, right? From the other people. And I sat there and I was.
Or you just read the other names, you're like, who the fuck else was in here?
Oh, I've done that, yeah. And sometimes you see some names, you're like, what the fuck?
Ugh. It sucks when you're like, I'm going in for Nick, and then you're like, everybody's name is on there for Nick.
Yeah. And I was sitting there really nervous, and Eric walks into the lobby. But I thought he was going to razz me or tease me or whatever. And he comes to my ear. He whispers something. You know what he says? It doesn't need to be perfect. And he walks out. And I'd had a good audition. And I thought to myself, that right there is a true fucking friend. I mean, somebody, I have some friends that would try to sabotage it.
Really?
Yeah, I would have a friend go in there. I know I could name names. I'm not going to. That would walk in there and go, don't fuck this up. It means everything.
Right.
And walk out, right? But that guy, Eric Stonestreet, said, you got this. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that's a gift. That's a real friend right there, man. I
love him.
Well, I was in all the castings on all the Lionsgate movies that I did. So I read with a lot of people because I just wanted to see the process. A lot of people in LA are not prepared when they come in.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
Look terrible attitude. I couldn't believe how limited our choices were based on people that came in that were like bright-eyed and ready to go.
Wow.
Everybody else looked like they just rolled out of hide 22 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Slapped a little dippity-doo in their hair.
But I think somebody once told me, though, that that's how you go in. You go in not wanting it, right? You go in like you're above it, like you're dressed like I'm doing something, like.
That's insulting, though.
But that's what someone told me that once. Like an incredible person told me.
It was Eric Stone Street. He whispered that on another day.
Hey, don't take a shower. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It probably doesn't,
If you're like grossly unprepared, that's just an insulting.
But now there's so many other factors. There are some places that want to know your Instagram numbers when you audition. There are some.
I'm sure you know that.
You know the politics of out here. It's so very political, competitive, and then the comedy world, and then everything, the extension of it. This is like an obstacle course out here, man. You know, and it's a lottery. There's a lot of factors.
It's weird because I think part of it is remember when you did that movie with Casper and these kids had like 7 million followers.
YouTubers.
I did
a
the
YouTube
YouTubers,
movie.
yeah, and it's just security to get their money back. To make sure that whoever these young kids that follow these guys are going to buy the movie on iTunes, and they know for a fact they're going to get their money back.
Yeah, I've done like 3 YouTube star movies, and it's like it's really interesting because number one, it's not their thing to sit on a mark, right, and just they don't know what the cameras do or and what jib is or any terminology, and they're just learning on their feet, and I'm like totally there to support them, but it sucks for people, young comics now, because listen, I've been on a network sitcoms, maybe a third year coming, and not a single person has said to me, "I love you on that show." My point is not because I'm not good on it. It's a point. But
Eric Stone Street, come on in, Eric.
But my point is that there's so much out there, right?
Yeah.
There is so much out there. You have to be in a culturally like a Game of Thrones,
Handmaid's Tale,
or Handmaid's Tale, something that shifts cultures and.
But I also feel like you're such a big. I'm not saying that you don't bring value to the show that you're on. I'm sure I haven't seen the show. Yeah. I'm sure it's a great show, but. And I said this to you in the club a few years ago. We were having like one of our just, stark get to the point of it. I said, Bobby, your vehicle is going to be something you make that's you in the center. Your Barry on HBO. There is a fucking show that I see, and I'm a visual person, you doing that you still han't done yet.
Yeah, I haven't.
Maybe you haven't had the opportunity. Maybe you haven't been there.
I had no opportunity.
Well, maybe from this.
Whoa.
The nerd.
You have been directing, right? I saw you direct something.
Yeah.
What was that?
The next phase of my whole shift is like I'm writing, directing, producing.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
doing what
I love it.
Jordan's doing.
I love it.
Did you see Us?
Yeah.
Was it
It's
good?
amazing.
I saw
I heard
it.
it was
Yeah.
amazing.
I thought I liked it better than Get Out.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot more
I haven't seen it
layers.
yet.
A lot of layers.
Yeah.
I have to see it. Oh my
I dug
God.
it.